Welcome back to our fourth installment on our series, Toxic Trends That Are Killing America. And if you've missed any of our former broadcasts, you can go back to them on YouTube. They're there free for you to watch. We hope that you'll share them with your friends. So now we're going to get into the delusions that are spreading through our nation. First of all, before we define what a delusion is, we need to understand what an illusion is. An illusion is a misleading perception that something is real, but it's not. This is what magicians do. They make it look like they're sawing a person in half or doing something spectacular that defies our belief. Well, a delusion is deeper. A delusion is a false perception, but it's something that's actually believed even when evidence is presented to contradict it. And those who are psychologists might even consider certain delusions as a sign of mental health issues. Some delusions are being put out there as truth, but it's not. So what really is truth? Well, if you go to college today, if you go to high school today, your teachers are likely going to be telling you that truth is whatever you want it to be. Truth is just relative. Where are they getting this from? Well, they're getting it from people like Friedrich Nietzsche, who said we're all living in an illusion, that there are no eternal facts and no absolute truths. Truths are only illusions. Michel, the French philosopher, taught that truth is the product of power. Those that are in power control what truth is. So therefore, truth changes over time. It's not absolute. Richard Rorty said truth depends on societal consensus, and that is not objective. Truth is whatever your contemporaries will let you get away with. So now we're getting into whatever truth is, could be whatever you make it to be. There's no absolutes. For example, you cannot say 2 + 2 = 4. Harvard professor tweeted out that 2 + 2 really can mean 5. Portland State professor James Lindsay insisted on Twitter that anyone who says 2 + 2 is 4, it's not an objective fact, but rather a cultural notion resulting from Western imperialism and colonization. And they're even going as far as to say 2 + 2 = 4 is a perspective in white Western mathematics. In other words, you're a racist. You're a stupid racist if you believe that 2 + 2 = 4. Well, we've been living in delusions now for far too long. They've been selling us lies. And sadly, people have been buying them and believing them. It started over 100 years ago that we didn't come from God. We came from an animal. We evolved into man. The Bible said this in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 5. It's not that they are being beguiled. No, they choose to believe in this. For this, they are willingly ignorant. They are ignorant. And what are they ignorant about? They look at the things of creation. Romans chapter 1 teaches that even though they knew God, they chose not to worship him as God. And so they willingly believe the lie. Now we're going into really demented stuff. Things like abortion is health care. Killing our unborn babies, is just health care. Wow. If abortion is health care, then I guess slavery is job creation. The Bible says this, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, and put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. God warned us these days were coming. Well, they're not coming. They're upon us. They've been upon us for some time. There's some good resources that might help you protect your children because that's what they're after. You might want to get the DVD Indoctrination or the books Education or Indoctrination or Pete Hegseth's book, Battle for the American Mind, that kind of reveals the attacks that the assaults that our children are under in our schools. And we've got to win our education program back. Some of the things they're really drilling down on right now are things like SOGI laws, sexual orientation, gender identity, and critical race theory. These things are big and they're dangerous, and we need to see them stopped. The critical race theory, you need to realize this. It's not that they're saying that there's a good white people and bad white people. No, all white people are racist. This is the message of the critical race theory. And they're trying to change our history. Instead of us being a nation that started in the 1700s, they want to go all the way back and say, well, Americans started in 1619 when the first black slave reached the shores of America. Realize this, that was a British colony. That wasn't America yet. Not saying that we were perfect, but they're trying to twist history and make a new narrative and make all white men as racist, and therefore America is racist and wrong, and America needs to be punished. America needs to be destroyed. That's what they're trying to do. And then they're trying to destroy our very culture and fabric of male and female, that a man could be elected as Woman of the Year. What nonsense. Matt Walsh really made a mockery of how foolish all this is with his movie. He did a great job. And then we looked with almost laughter and horror at the same time when Judge Jackson was being nominated for Supreme Court, and she was asked by Senator Blackburn,
can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Yeah,
I can't.
you can.
Not in this context. I'm not a biologist.
can you tell me what a woman is? And it was just so embarrassing watching an educated woman who couldn't even explain what a woman is. Why? It's a narrative that they can't go against. They can't stand against the beating drums of this stupidity. Let me show you where it's going. The Psychiatric Society out there, they go to the handbook for mental health disorders. It's called the DSM. We're now in DSM 5. But the first one, in 1952, it classified homosexuality as a mental disorder. It did so again in 1968. But before they came out with the new DSM-3, they had a vote amongst the psychiatrists. Should we treat homosexuality as a mental disorder, as something that is inherently wrong? And because our culture is changing, should we change it? Even though science doesn't tell us it's okay to let them off the hook, what do we think? And they voted based on the cultural change. Truth is not absolute to them. Truth is whatever the consensus of the people is. And so they said, we're going to change it. And they did. And in 1980, DSM-3 no longer called homosexuality a mental disorder, but as a sexual orientation. Folks, this is getting deeper. They're now moving into pedophilia. When they came out with the digital copy of DSM-5 in 2013, they no longer called pedophilia a mental disorder, but rather a sexual orientation. Well, there was an uproar about it, and there should have been. And they said, oh, that was a typo. That was a mistake in our digital release. We'll fix it when we come to the printed release. They're testing the waters. They're trying to get away with that to bring pedophilia to our country. Folks, it's just only going to get deeper and deeper into sin. I love what Charles Haddon Spurgeon said. He that perverts the truth shall soon be incapable of knowing the truth from the false. If you persist in wearing glasses that distort, everything will be distorted to you. I think that's worth saying again. He that perverts the truth shall soon be incapable of knowing the truth from the false. If you could keep pushing this agenda and the lies and the delusions, you're not going to be capable of knowing what's right or wrong. Wearing these glasses that distort will distort everything. See, the problem is that man thinks his problems are in the mind. The mind is the problem. We got to fix the mind and fix its thinking. God says, no, it's in the heart. The real problem is in the heart of man. It's fallen, it's sinful, it's wicked, and it needs to be redeemed and renewed. Matthew chapter 15, verse 19, the Bible tells us, for out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts. The thoughts come first from the heart. The heart's the root. And if it's evil, if it's wrong, it hasn't been transformed and made anew by God, it will remain evil, wicked, and sinful. For out of the heart produces the thinking, and the thinking then produces the actions, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies, and the list goes on. The Bible speaks of natural man, the unsaved man, as simple. And he, the simple, believeth every word. So they're just going to take it in and they're going to follow it. But the prudent man looketh well to his going. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent, those who've been changed by God, are crowned with knowledge. See, our professors, our educations, our high thinkers, our institutes of higher learning are filled with all this nonsense. And oh, how true the Bible is when it says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. You see, these delusions are truly rooted in rebellion. It's a rebellion in a wicked heart against God and God's precepts and God's ways. We need to regain this nation and turn her back to the things of God. How do we do it? Through revival. Revival is the only answer. The answer is, yes, we got political things we can do, but at the end of the day, the White House won't save us. Only God can save our nation. We need repentance. We need revival. Folks, if you like our channel, please subscribe. That would help us a tremendous amount. And share our content with others. Give us a comment. Tell us what you think, whether you like it or not. And if you like it, give us that like button. We'd appreciate that. You can find out more about our ministry at fortressoffaith.com or .org. It's the same website. And we welcome those of you who will support our ministry. We're a nonprofit, tax-deductible gift of $10 a month is how our supporters keep our ministry afloat. And we welcome your help and your support. You can go online at fortressoffaith.org and become a member of the Army of 10. Next time we come back, we're going to get into the final section of toxic trends that are killing America. And it's fine for us to talk about all that's wrong. That's what we've done so far. Now we get into what we need to do, how we need to act, how we need to bring our nation back to God. Join us then.